To my Republican colleagues who introduced this resolution, I thank you. You honor me with your enmity. You flatter me with this falsehood. You who are the authors of a big lie about the last election must condemn the truth-tellers, and I stand proudly before you. Your words tell me that I have been effective in the defense of our democracy, and I am grateful. And yet this false and defamatory resolution comes at a considerable cost to the country and to the Congress. At a moment when millions of people in our home state of California are unable to find a place to live or afford a place to live, Speaker McCarthy chooses to occupy the resources of Congress for 2 straight weeks on this hollow sop to the MAGA crowd. He offers nothing to those who are homeless or addicted to opioids or to millions of college students mired in debt, but this paltry distraction. Donald Trump is under indictment for actions that jeopardize our national security, and McCarthy would spend the nation's time on petty political payback, thinking he can censure or fine Trump's opposition into submission. But I will not yield, not 1 inch. The cost to the Speaker's delinquency is high, but the cost to Congress of this frivolous and yet dangerous resolution may be even higher, as it represents another serious abuse of power. Donald Trump has threatened that any of you that defy him and vote against this partisan resolution will be met by a primary challenge. And he calls for my imprisonment. If a transient majority can punish and attempt to silence members who hold a corrupt president to account, there is no telling what further corruption of office will follow. And I say this to Speaker McCarthy and others who wish to gratify Donald Trump with this act of subservience or bend to his demands. Try as you might to expel me from Congress or silence me with a $16 million fine, you will not succeed. You might as well make it $160 million. You will never deter me from doing my duty. No matter how many false justifications or slanders you level against me, you but indict yourselves. As Liz Cheney said, there will come a day when Donald Trump is gone, but your dishonor will remain. This resolution attacks me for initiating an investigation into Trump campaign solicitation and acceptance of Russian help in the 2016 election, even though the investigation was first led not by me, but by a Republican chairman. It would hold that when you give internal campaign polling data and your polling data to a Russian intelligence operative, while Russian intelligence is helping your campaign, as Trump's campaign chairman did, that you must not call that collusion, though that is its proper name, as the country well knows. It would fine me for the costs of the critically important Mueller investigation into Trump's misconduct, even though the special counsel was appointed by Trump's own attorney general. It would reprimand me over a flawed FISA application as if I were its author, or I was the director of the FBI, and over flaws only discovered years later and by the Inspector General, not Mr. Durham. In short, it would accuse me of omnipotence, the leader of some vast deep state conspiracy, and of course, it is nonsense. But here is the real gravamen of my offense. I led the first impeachment of Donald Trump for one of the most egregious presidential abuses of power in our history. And I led a trial which resulted in the first bipartisan vote to remove a president in history. And I would do so again. I warned that if Trump was not held accountable, he would go on to try to cheat in even worse ways in the next election, and he did, inciting a violent attack on this very Capitol. And after that, I participated in some of the most important hearings in congressional history, hearings that exposed Donald Trump's incitement of a dangerous insurrection to prevent the peaceful transfer of power. My colleagues, if there is cause for censure in this House, and there is, it should be directed at those in this body who sought to overturn a free and fair election. The question, my Republican colleagues, is not why am I the subject of this false resolution for doing my constitutional duty, but why are you not? Why are you not standing beside me, the subject of a similar rebuke for speaking the truth? Why did you not stand up to Donald Trump? Why did you not reject his immorality? Why did you not condemn his dishonesty? Why did you not speak out when his horde attacked this Capitol, or now when he treats the nation's secrets with such carelessness, lawlessness, and disdain? Why did you hide from efforts to hold him accountable? Why were you silent, afraid, unwilling to do your ethical, constitutional duty? Why did you cower? Why did you cower? And why do you still? Will it be said of you that you lack the courage to stand up to the most immoral, unlawful, and unethical president in history, but consoled yourselves by attacking those who did? Today, I wear this partisan vote as a badge of honor, knowing that I have lived my oath, knowing that I have done my duty to hold a dangerous and out-of-control president accountable, and knowing that I would do so again in a heartbeat if the circumstances should ever require it. I thank you, and I yield back.
That was Adam Schiff essentially calling Republicans cowards for not standing up to Donald Trump, and now trying to use their power as the House majority to censor Adam Schiff for his role in the House Select Committee's investigation into Donald Trump inciting the Capitol Hill riot and Donald Trump's impeachment. Yep, they're using their power to try to punish their rivals, silence their rivals. They're not really concerned about the nation's homelessness or opioid problem or college debt problem, like Adam Schiff mentioned. No, the cowardice GOP and mega morons are trying to retaliate against everybody who went after Donald Trump. And it is truly a pathetic day in America. For Adam Schiff, though, I think that was an incredible speech, using an attack on him to, like he said, wear it as a badge of honor, wear it as a sign that he is effective in his role and in his leadership position. Adam Schiff wasn't the only one who responded to this ridiculous censor vote today. Goldman, also another Democratic all-star, spoke on the floor of the House.
Boy, is Adam Schiff powerful. He can at once be the chairman of the Intelligence Committee, the special counsel investigating Donald Trump, manage and run the FBI, and be a judge ruling on FISA applications. It is remarkable that he, from his perch in Congress, can do all of that. Of course, he didn't do any of that. All he did was properly impeach the President of the United States for his gross abuse of power. You want to talk about collusion? Let me ask my Republican colleagues, if a campaign manager for a campaign is giving internal information to a Russian intelligence agent, is that collusion? Because that was the once classified information that is now public and now constitutes collusion. And there are so many other issues. There is nothing in this motion, this resolution that
I want to yield the
is true.
gentleman an additional 20 seconds.
Gentleman's recognized.
One of my colleagues says, "We will hold members accountable." You are the party of George Santos. Who are you holding accountable? The guy is an alleged and acknowledged liar and indicted, and you protect him every day. Don't lecture us with your projection and your defense of Donald Trump. It's pathetic, and it's beneath you, and it's beneath this body, and I yield back.
It's really easy for these Democrats to point out how ridiculous, how hypocritical, and how pathetic these Republicans are when they talk about they want to uphold the integrity of the House of Representatives when they have people like George Santos in their party. Like, Goldman just does such a fantastic job exposing these Republicans. He does this on nearly every committee he sits on. Every time he's got to respond to these Republican votes, whatever it is, how ridiculous they are, because this Republican Party has turned into this extremist party where it's all about lying, cheating, stealing, punishing rivals, silencing rivals, retaliating against Democrats or anybody who is like a never Trumper or anti-MAGA. That seems to be the Republican playbook now, which is really interesting because you have people like Jim Jordan, who actually chairs a committee in the House, a committee called the Weaponization of the Federal Government, where they're trying to find out how Democrats are weaponizing the federal government, when literally it's the Republican MAGA GOP playbook to weaponize the government. Right? They're not there to talk about the drug addiction, homelessness, these crises that we're facing in America. No, they're there simply to try to hurt the Democrats, which is, again, like Goldman said here, pathetic. We also had Jamie Raskin, who spoke on the House floor today, and he actually slipped in a funny line about Republicans and Donald Trump's classified document indictment. Let's see if you catch it.
Today we meet not to lower the costs of prescription drugs, nor to expand President Biden's infrastructure plan, nor to protect the voting rights of the people, nor to protect the health care choices of women across America, because we know they're definitely not interested in that. No, we meet rather for another stop on the GOP's endless revenge tour against Democrats who dared to tell the truth about Donald Trump and his repeated sellouts and betrayals of the American people over the last 6 years. It's all about Donald Trump tightening his stranglehold over Republicans for the 2024 campaign and driving out anyone who dares to think for himself or herself. But don't take my word for it. Just read Friday's statement by the twice-impeached inciter of insurrection, sexual abuser, defamer of women, and indicted pilferer of national security secrets, war plans, and top-secret classified documents himself. On Friday, Trump posted this order to his followers and this unveiled threat to anyone who would dare to defy his control over the GOP. Quote, "Any Republican voting against Adam Schiff's censure or worse should immediately be primaried," he wrote. The Luna resolution is a weapon of mass distraction from Trump's indictment by a Florida grand jury on 37 federal charges relating to obstruction and unlawful retention of defense information for storing dozens of classified, secret, and top secret documents at his Florida resort, in his bathroom, his bedroom, and beyond, and then refusing repeatedly for more than a year to return any of these official documents to the archives and the FBI. It's amazing to me that they have to change the subject from one of Donald Trump's current offenses against America to one of his older offenses, welcoming Russian interference in the 2016 presidential campaign. Russia repeatedly intervened in the 2016 campaign to help Donald Trump, and that's not a matter of opinion. That's a question of direct positive fact. Special counsel Robert Mueller, the former FBI director, whose report is cited authoritatively by Ms. Luna, found right at the beginning of his report that, quote, "The Russian government interfered in the 2016 presidential election in sweeping and systematic fashion. Here's what the CIA, the FBI, the NSA, and the Office of the Director of National Intelligence found in 2017. Russian President Vladimir Putin ordered an influence campaign in 2016 aimed at the U.S. presidential election. The Mueller investigation and the Moscow Project documented more than 250 episodes of collaboration and meetings between Russia and the Trump campaign, including Paul Manafort's repeated passing of campaign secrets, such as polling data to Konstantin Kilimnik, a Russian agent, and the infamous meeting on June 9, 2016 at Trump Tower, led by Donald Trump Jr., Jared Kushner, and Russian lawyer Natalia Veselnitskaya. Senator Marco Rubio, the Florida Republican, stated that the U.S. Senate Bipartisan Select Committee on Intelligence, quote, found irrefutable evidence of Russian meddling in the American campaign. So, the Mueller report, if you read it, makes no pronouncement on collusion, the putative crux of the distinguished gentlelady's complaint, because as Mueller writes, collusion is not a legal offense or a legal concept. And so the whole question of Trump's collusion with Russia is in the realm of opinion. And most Americans would see a lot of collusive activity all the way up to the present day, when Donald Trump refuses even to take the side of the Ukrainian people against Vladimir Putin's filthy, bloody imperialist invasion of their country, which has been filled with lies, atrocities, and war crimes. In any event, we don't censure members over a difference of opinion. Mr. Speaker, we're seeing the complete ethical collapse of a once great political party. The Republican Party began as a pro-freedom, anti-racist, pro-immigrant, anti-know-nothing party. It has become an authoritarian cult of personality, taking orders from an inciter of insurrection, a bully and braggart whose rage towards Mike Pence and whose spectacular disrespect for the rule of law endangered not only our entire constitutional order, but everyone in this room. The party of Lincoln and his Lincolnites has become the party of Luna and her Luna followers. Today's madcap antics are an obvious deflection from Trump's deepening legal troubles. His allegedly criminal conduct in pilfering, hoarding, and refusing to return national security documents has caused his own Attorney General, William Barr, to say that, quote, Trump's conduct is indefensible. He's not a victim here. He was totally wrong, and there is no excuse for what he did here. Yesterday, Representative Boebert offered a resolution of impeachment against President Biden. The GOP simply has no ideas for our economy, no ideas for our country, and no idea for our people, but is on an embarrassing revenge tour on behalf of Donald Trump, who treats them like a ventriloquist's dummy. I reserve.
Did you hear it? He was talking about Donald Trump, the documents being in his bedroom, bathroom, and beyond. Ha ha ha! Jamie Raskin is hilarious. If you guys liked this video, if you stand with Adam Schiff and Democrats, be sure to share this video. Also, be sure to subscribe if you're new to the videos. You can subscribe over on YouTube. You can follow the channel over on Facebook. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for interacting. Thank you for all your comments. My name is Brendan Plank, and I'll see you in the next video.